How's it going, guys? So, I've decided to read a story called Falling Out. It is made by. What's his face? No, I believe It's made by Alicorn. I'm reading the first chapter, which is Fallout. Falling Out by. Um, which is part of the whole story, The Seventh Elements. Um, did you see this furry pony at the good home? Yeah, it's so you know it's gonna be sad. Anyways, let's begin. Falling out. She still doesn't trust me. Princess Luna watched on as her sister Princess Celestia walked down the hallway and closed the grand oak doors behind her. Celestia was on her way to a meeting of the Council on Equestrian Affairs, where she would discuss the future on the nation with delegates from the major cities and organizations: Philadelphia, Cloudsdale, Las Pegasus, the Star Swirl Society, Wonderbolts, and Ponyville. Together, they would keep peace, better the economy, help the needy, need the poor, kiss babies, and all that other stuff to make them look good, and every pony would love them for it. Why can't I be a part of that? Luna thought to herself, feeling the lowest she had in, well, as long as she could remember. It had been almost it had been almost a year since those six had freed her from the prison of hate and spite she had made for herself, known as Nightmare Moon. Almost a full year since she had come back to Canterlot, a new filly, and can't read, guys. Canterlot and a new filly, and been nothing else than the loving, caring, and kind sister, the princess she was before. After staring at the door for what seemed like forever, Luna turned around and began walking back to the main chamber, only to run headlong into a pony who had been galloping towards the door. Luna's sister had just disappeared through. Luna got to her hooves, looking for her assailant. There, lying on the ground, was a pony with little stars doing laps around her head as she lay there dazed. The mare had a crescent moon and star-tipped wand on her flank. Oh, yes. Who do you think this is, guys? Crescent moon and star-tipped wand on her flank. We're gonna meet Trixie. This is as for the foreshadowing. Oh, it's you, Trixie. How are you? Luna asked happily after realizing she had just literally run into a friend. Trixie took a moment to swat at the little stars still buzzing around her head as she stood up again. Stars? Maybe it's a side effect of a recent experiment. She's the delegate for the Star Swirl Society after all. She wasn't saying anything, so Luna decided to try again, a little louder this time. Hello, Trixie. Are you okay? I didn't see you there. I, the great and powerful Trixie, am completely fine and do not need your... Oh, Princess Luna! Trixie is so very sorry. She was worried she would be late for the council meeting and... It is fine, Trixie. Don't worry. Luna gave her a warm smile. That seemed to relax Trixie a bit. Wait, why are you out here? Come on, let's go to the meeting together, Princess. I can't, Trixie. Celestia has forbidden it, Luna explained solemnly. She feels that I cannot yet be trusted so soon after my return, so I am left out of most big decisions. Trixie had a look of absolute shock on her face. How could she do this to you? Why would your own sister not let you back at her side as an equal? The elements of harmony did their job. You are just as you once were. I know, but she doesn't seem to see it that way. I can't say I blame her, though. I mean, I did do terrible things. Luna looked at the floor and started making little circles with her hooves. No, Princess. You didn't do any of that. That was Nightmare Moon. You aren't those same pony you were back then. You're new and free, and you deserve the chance to prove it. I'm going to march right in there and demand that you be included. Thank you, Trixie, but you really don't. It was no use. Trixie had that confident, cocky look she often got when she was determined, so with a sigh, Luna followed the young mare to the council chamber. Trixie opened the door and walked inside, followed closely by Luna. The room was beautiful. It had a high ceiling with two chandeliers hanging from it, only slightly obscuring a mural above their heads depicting some major events in Equestria's history: creation of the planet, Discord's imprisonment, and Luna's banishment, among other things. The walls were like those in the main chamber, tall and filled with large windows. The meeting table was long and rectangular. Luna stood at one end with Trixie and looked down at the other end, where there stood her sister, Celestia, with a most unhappy look upon her face. Behind her was a strange symbol Luna had never seen before. It looked like an eye atop a pair of wings. Sister, you know the rules. You're not allowed to be present during the meeting. Celestia reminded her sister from the far end of the table, looking exactly like a business pony CEO from this angle. Yes, sister, but Luna began. I, the great and powerful Trixie, think that Princess Luna should be included in this meeting. She is, after all, a princess, so she should have the same authority as you do. Your Highness, she added as an afterthought. Celestia gave little pause for Trixie's little outburst. Need I remind you why you are not allowed here, sister? 1,000 years ago, Luna, your jealousy that the ponies of Equestria preferred my day to your night reached a peak, and your jealousy changed you. You transformed from the lovable mare I see before me to one of darkness and spite. You tried to throw me out of power as you could roll the land with an iron hoof and bathe it in eternal night. So I did what I had to do. I banished you to the moon in the hopes that it would be enough for you to come to your senses, for you to return to your kind self, dear sister. She gave Luna a look that summed up her disappointment in the fallen princess. Celestia, you're right. I've done terrible things, but that isn't who I am anymore. I'm changed. I'm the same sister you grew up with. We've been together for thousands of years. Can you really believe that I'm still that evil mare? I could never do such things. I wouldn't allow myself. It's against everything we were taught, sister. I have had a hard time even remembering being Nightmare Moon. How can you expect me to revert back to her if I don't remember her? I'm sorry it ever happened, but I have learned from my mistakes. It won't let it happen again. I can't let it happen again. Every pony deserves a second chance. Celestial looked as if her patience had dried up. She was not happy. No pony spoke for a few moments. The tension was almost palpable, and just as Luna thought, she could stand it no longer. Celestia's angry voice broke the silence. I gave you a second chance, sister. I gave you the chance to change, to return to your normal self on your own, but you didn't, did you? You came back after 1,000 years, just as I had planned, and you were exactly the same as when you left. You went to Ponyville and began to terrorize its citizens and do the same things you did a millennium earlier. Thankfully, you didn't have enough time to begin killing as you did before. I gave you your second chance, oh dear sister, and you tossed it out the window. You abused your powers, and because of that, you now have none. You are a princess of Equestria by title only and will never be my equal. Now leave so ponies who can control themselves can discuss the future of this kingdom. And as for you, Celestia turned her gaze to Trixie. The Star Swirl Society is no longer welcome to any further council meetings. And with that, both were lifted by Celestia's magic and unceremoniously tossed from the chamber. Guys, that was quite sad. I almost cried. Celestia just kicking her sister out. Luna out of Canterlot. That's sad. If Trixie hadn't done that, she would still be there. It's sad, guys. I'm gonna end it here. Goodbye.